Hey Rock Out Beer viewers, welcome back to the spare bedroom. This is a very special tasting episode for two reasons. One, it's going to be the first in my series of Cellar Buster episodes where I'm going to drink all of the beer from that video that's going to be linked up here that you should watch if you haven't already. But it's my cellar, the beers I got to get rid of because we're downsizing my beer fridge to make room for our new kitchen. But the second and far more important specialty of this episode is that it is my birthday. Yay! I'm just gonna assume you're all wishing me a happy birthday, like just saying it directly to your screen because I probably won't get this up today, so it won't be my birthday anymore. But you should wish me a happy birthday anyway. That'll be nice. What beer did I choose to have for my birthday? It's this one. I couldn't choose a different one. I mean, if you don't remember from the video, this is Mikkeller's Black, and it is actually I think I mentioned it in that video. I actually bought this on my birthday 2-ish years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. I know that this was bottled in 2012, so it very well could have been 3 years ago. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, Mikkeller does their black imperial stout, which is champagne yeast fermented imperial stout that gets up to like 18% alcohol. And then they also did a line of spirits. So they took that black, the 18% alcohol imperial stout, and made it into whiskey. Then they aged it in a barrel. Then they took the whiskey out of the barrel. And then they took black, the beer, and put it back into the barrel. So this is black on black. This is black imperial stout aged on black whiskey barrels. So it is barrelception. I went through a lot to get a hold of this because not very much of it was made, to my knowledge anyway. Not very much of it was made, and it was relatively hard to get a hold of. So I've been saving it for a special occasion. A birthday. My birthday seems like a good occasion, especially since I bought it originally on my birthday. So I'm finally going to crack it open. You guys are going to watch me crack it open and drink it, and I'm going to say some things about it. So that's how this is going to work. That's how beer reviewing works. I've got a ridiculously small glass because I actually think might cap this off and wait to drink the rest of it later. But so I've got this little glass to pace myself with, and it happens to be a CBC Mikkeller Beer Festival glass with a nice middle finger on the front, so that also seems appropriate. All right, let's get into this thing. I've been looking forward to this beer for a long time, so let's not put it off any longer. There was a little hiss. Oh my god. As soon as I took the cap off, I could smell the booze. It smells good. One reason that I held on to this for so long is that I remember hearing about it when it was brand new, that it was pretty boozy. I mean, it was the unaged black is pretty boozy in and of itself, but then unaged black aged in its own black whiskey barrels must be doubly. Let's smell it. Oh, geez. It definitely has that barrel-aged imperial stout character. I let this warm up to almost room temperature, so I would guess that this beer is about 16, 17 degrees. So it's pretty warm. And I get all of the nose that you get when a nice barrel-aged imperial stout opens up. It's got a nice little head on it. I mean, obviously I poured it in this ridiculously little tiny glass, but it's got, lasting like super tan head on top. I actually was not expecting much in the way of carbonation, because usually these big imperial, this is 18.1% beer and it's barrel aged. So I didn't expect like hardly any carbonation at all, but that's a really resilient little head on that thing. I get the alcohol, the barrel notes right off the top. Um, it's reminiscent of kind of bourbony, kind of sweet vanilla, but definitely hard, definitely alcohol, definitely a lot of alcohol. A little bit of coffee, a little bit of licorice, those imperial stout type smells. I'm gonna get in here. Oof. When I first got it, I didn't drink it because I was afraid of too much alcohol. I thought that it would probably mellow and turn into a much nicer beer over the years. And I'm actually now, after the first sip, I can say I'm really glad that I did that, because it's very, very, very strongly alcohol, and it's definitely mellowed. It's definitely, but it is a very alcohol forward beer. It's almost like taking a drink of actual whiskey. As soon as it touches my mouth, it gets really warm, and it instantly kind of, my entire mouth reacts to it, like drying out and getting warm, and it's intense. It's an intense beer. Lots of whiskey type taste, like and it's not like a whiskey that I can place. It's not smoky, but it's not vanilla sweetie like sweetie, vanilla sweet like bourbon is. It's just kind of a, yeah, general type whiskey flavor. And I actually haven't had the whiskey. I haven't had black whiskey, which I couldn't track any down. Well, any that wouldn't cost me a fortune to try before this. So we're going into this blind, but I definitely can get the whiskey notes to it for sure. There's a good, there's a little bit of barrel flavor in there. There's that kind of wood tannin type notes that's I think where the dryness is coming from. That, and probably the ridiculous amount of roasted barley in here, and the fact that it's fermented with champagne yeast. It's probably a pretty low attenuating beer for an imperial stout. I really expected it to be a lot sharper than this. It's super smooth, but it's really whiskey forward, and then the back end you get a little bit of that kind of light coffee taste that I talked about from the smell. But yeah, this is the most barrel forward beer that I've ever had that's actually been, I don't know, drinkable, I guess I want to say. I don't want to say it like that, but usually if the barrel overpowers the beer, it makes it kind of difficult to drink. And this is really smooth, and I don't know if that's just I'm gonna have to put it down to the age. It's got to be the age, right? But I mean, that's like, you've just seen me drink 10 centiliters of an over 18% beer, and it's not catching in my throat. It's not sickly sweet. I actually appreciate the dryness. I think it goes really well with the whiskey flavor. Man, it's just a really good beer. It is a really good one-off beer that probably never see again. So and that's something that's really cool. And that's I guess the cool part of one of the cool parts about having a cellar is and also one of the saddest parts is that if you drink a beer and it turns out to be really awesome because you've cellared it for so long like this, and then once you're done drinking it, it's pretty much gone. So it's gone to the ages. But at the same time, I'm really happy that I let this age, because I think it would have been too intensely overwhelming. Young, like if I had just drunk it the next day, I'm gonna go in for a little bit more. I shouldn't, but I am. I'm just gonna fill it up to the 6 centiliter mark. Just while I'm rambling, I'd like to have something in the glass. So I definitely, I mean, on my rating scale, I have to give this a 10, just because I spent so long trying to find it, and I kept it for so long, and there were so many expectations, like both like, oh, this is supposed to be such a great beer, but then, oh, what if it isn't? But it lived up. It totally lived up. It's got the it's one of those beers that I can't come up with a flaw for it. I'd say I'd recommend it that you go out and get it, but I'd highly doubt, unless you've got it sitting in your cellar, you'll ever find a bottle. So yeah, man, this is off to this little segment, this cellar buster segment is off to a great start with Mikkeller's Black Barrel Aged Black. And did I mention how black the beer was? It's black. It's black. I've said black a lot of times in this review. But you know what, guys? Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for sharing in this beer. Please remember, like, favorite, subscribe, share this with other people. If they might think that this kind of stuff is cool. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I am gonna go now, and I'm gonna, and I am not gonna save this. I'm gonna go, and I am gonna enjoy this beer somewhere, and for the rest of make my birthday a little warmer for sure, because I can already start to feel it in my head. Thanks again for watching. I'm gonna see you guys another time with maybe another super rare beer. Who knows? Who knows what I'll get out next? Who knows what I'm going to bust out? But until then, cheers, guys. So good. It's like the essence of an imperial stout, just buoyed on this like ocean of it's a life raft of imperial stout flavor set adrift on a sea of dryness and whiskey flavor. God, I am like a poet, you guys. I am. That's probably gonna be like an outtake or something. I'm getting drunk. I'm getting drunk in here. This is a cat's over here judging me. Don't judge me, cat. I'm actually like really impressed by how drinkable this beer is. I mean, it's crazy how much I've gone through just in this review, like how fast it's gone down. Oh. Uh-oh. What's that now, phone? I got a business meeting in an hour. No? Come on. No. Come on. It's your birthday too. I grant you birthday today. No? Okay, just judge. Just judgment. Oh. Well, that about sums it up, I guess.